reality of wrestling, the flagship of Texas wrestling.
You just can't see it anywhere else.
He's 15 feet in the air. Brian takes him up top. Oh, look at this. Oh, my God.
Will testify.
Oh, connect. Wow.
Look at you, dig that.
Boom.
Welcome to the flagship of Texas wrestling. Matt Topolsky alongside Brad Gilmore and loud as ever, the Row Nation for the reality of wrestling. And they're excited for good reason.
They are.
Because for the first time in 9 months, the Mysterious Q returns to action here tonight, Brad.
I can't believe it. I never thought we would see the day to see the Mysterious Q, the franchise, the two-time road champion, back in the reality wrestling in the World Gym Arena. But tonight is that night, TP. Christmas come early.
And I'll tell you something else, Brad. They're excited for another reason, too. And that's because the owner of Reality of Wrestling, the Hall of Famer himself, Booker T, is in the building. And we're going to hear from him right now.
At this time, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the founder and president of Reality of Wrestling, Booker T.
What up, guys? No. What's up, Reality of Wrestling Nation? Guys, again, I want to thank everybody for coming out and support Reality of Wrestling. Reality of Wrestling, the hottest thing on the Gulf Coast. Give yourselves a round of applause. Guys, we're getting closer and closer to our big event. It's called the Summer of Champions. And as we get closer, things get hotter and hotter here in Reality of Wrestling. So next month, guys, we're going to have a special contract signing right here in the middle of this ring. And that contract signing will be for two men that's going to be facing each other for the Reality of Wrestling Championship, and that is Aiden Cristiano on one side, Gino, former El Gran Campeon, on the other side. And they will sign a contract right here in the middle of the ring to face each other for the Reality of Wrestling Championship, and I tell you, it's going to be good. You know, it might even be great. No, but some people say it's going to be perfect. We're not going to talk about it right now, but come contract signing, me, Booker T, President and CEO of Reality of Wrestling, will add one little nugget, one little stipulation, and I hope all of you guys show up to see exactly what it is. And like I always say, now can you dig that? Oh, and I do that again. And I'm out. Hit my music.
You're a doctor, right?
Well, I mean, actually, I'm a medical.
That's not what's important. That's not what's. Too many words. Too many words. Too many words. You know what's happening tonight. You know what's important tonight. StarTech is going one-on-one with the great Scott Smith. You know who I am, right?
Yeah, Kiefer.
No. StarTech. StarTech. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
StarTech. So what I'm going to need from you is I'm going to need you to be on hand, ringside. When I hit the great Scott Smith with my spear, a bald eagle is going to die. When I hit my spear on the great Scott Smith, the flame on the Statue of Liberty will extinguish. You get what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, of course.
That's too many words. That's not what's important tonight. I'm going one-on-one with the great Scott Smith. StarTech, remember it. StarTech, StarTech, StarTech.
Ryan, last week, the Road Nation witnessed Stevie Ray interfering in your match once again and really laying you out. How do you feel? What is going through your mind?
How do I feel? Shit, I don't know. If I knocked you out right now, how would you feel? Yeah, exactly. It doesn't feel really good, okay? Especially after everything that I've gone through with Stevie and been his whipping boy since day one, right? But you know what? I got to admit, I should have seen it coming. I mean, come on, man. I've been doing this since day one. The little sneak behind things, the little methods that you showed me. Yeah, real smart, man. I bet you feel real proud of yourself, you and Abel, just sitting there, yay, and all that good stuff. Well, you know, the thing is, you know how I feel. The fans of the road know how I feel, but Abel, how are you going to feel? Oh, sure, you're celebrating now, but how are you going to feel when one of the best lessons that Stevie's ever taught me is get them back when least expected? And see, that's exactly what I'm going to do to you. I'm going to get you back when you least expect it. And there's nowhere to run, Abel. There's nowhere to hide. Because reality of wrestling is my turf. And what goes on is on my say. And it's not just what I like. I know the fans can't wait for me to rip you to shreds. But Abel, have no fear. It's coming, whether you like it or not. But when it's all said and done, once I get through with you, and I will get through with you, Stevie, just know that sometimes, just sometimes, the student will master the master.
The contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Abilene, Texas, weighing 225 pounds, Kiefer Bartek.
Well, Bartek looking at himself on the Jumbotron. Hard to be humble when you're stunned on a Jumbo.
You know, I'm actually surprised you didn't call him StarTech when he came out.
He is a star. That is StarTech.
Well, we'll see what kind of mood Bartek is in after losing to his former best friend Cameron Cole when the Cool collided just a few weeks ago.
Man runs and title runs, TP.
Pleasantville, USA, weighing in at 225 pounds, the great Scott Smith.
Well, great Scott Smith has entered the World Gym Arena.
Great Scott, TP. He's here. From Pleasantville.
Well, the USA chant has begun here, but
Wait, they're both from the United States.
yes, perhaps the World Gym Arena is cheering for both competitors.
So even StarTech saying that he's from the USA, pointing out the obvious. A Texas boy. Where is Pleasantville anyway?
Well, Pleasantville is the home of white picket fences and bald eagles.
Yeah, it's between Truth and Consequences and Parts Unknown?
Yes. But wherever Pleasantville is, that is where the great Scott Smith is from, and you will find an American flag there.
Oh. Well, StarTech not too pleased. Oh, whoa, man. Drop toe hold, spiked his face.
Oh, look at the great Scott Smith with a roll-up here. He could stun Bartek early, but a kick out at 2.
The great Scott cradle. Hitting maneuver by the great Scott Smith. Bartek, though, definitely looking to get a win here tonight. You obviously referred to it earlier, that breakup between him and Cameron Cole, the Cool.
Oh, what a reversal there from the great Scott Smith.
That's not a way to get ahead of the great Scott Smith. Wait a minute.
Oh! Neck first across that top rope, made famous by Steve Austin, a stun gun.
Wow, a shot right to the back of the head.
Cover here.
Referee might want to check on the great Scott Smith after that. That was a massive shot to the back of the head by Bartek.
Well, Bartek is in a foul mood, and for good reason. You know, he hyped himself up as being the true leader, the true captain of the Cool for months. And then it was Cameron Cole, courtesy of a super kick, that ended all that talk once and for all.
Well, definitely Cameron Cole came out the winning member of the Cool in their clash a few weeks ago here on Reality Wrestling.
High angle vertical suplex.
But let's not forget, Bartek was at one time a tag team champion. He has held gold here in the Reality of Wrestling, and maybe now he's going to try his hand at getting a singles win here tonight and maybe get a championship opportunity down the road.
Take nothing away from Bartek. He is a tremendous athlete, and you pointed it out correctly. He's a former Reality of Wrestling tag team champion. And the USA chants from Pleasantville to the World Gym Arena, ringing out again here
for the great Scott Smith. Shot to the midsection, the abdominal region by Bartek on the great Scott Smith, and a stiff uppercut right there.
I saw the great Scott Smith actually arriving at the World Gym Arena earlier today. He was in a carriage, Brad.
Wait a minute.
Oh, look at this backslide here.
It's a white picket pin.
Oh, kick out at 2. This is a massive opportunity for the great Scott Smith to pick up a great victory.
Oh, wow. Shot again to that midsection from Bartek to the great Scott Smith. Oh, wow.
Cover here. Both legs are pinned down.
Oh, wow.
But a kick out again from the great Scott Smith. And I believe they're chanting, "Man buns suck."
I bet you they won't tell that to Booker T. Now a submission type maneuver, once again working on that midsection of the great Scott Smith. You know he's got to be softening him up for that spear that Bartek likes to use. The fans pointing out once again, Bartek and the great Scott Smith are both from the USA. You gotta love the Road Nation. Oh, wow. Maybe the great Scott Smith's gonna get some offense here.
Oh, look at that!
Americana!
From the great state of Alaska to Houston, Texas, and back again. The great Scott Smith is on fire here.
Oh man, it looks like looking for a gut-wrench suplex. Oh, great Scott!
Cover! The great Scott Smith could be victorious in a kick out! At 2.
The great Scott Smith thought he had him. Oh! Shots to the left temple.
I don't think Bartek expected this at all, Brad.
Bartek!
Oh, and a short arm clothesline! And I think he's got to be seeing stars and stripes. Here's a cover. Kick out at 2.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Don't turn around.
Oh, leapfrog over the top. The great Scott Smith roll up here. He could steal one, Brad. Kick out at 2. Bartek is being pushed to the limit here.
Oh, he's on his shoulders. Oh. Another short arm clothesline. Oh, wow, a high knee.
This young man is very impressive. He is pushing a former Reality of Wrestling Tag Team Champion to the limit.
Uh-oh.
Springboard. From the top into a spear. Oh, my God. Hammer, 1, 2, count to 100. What a spear from Bartek.
Here is your winner, Kiefer Bartek.
I think I see Lady Liberty tearing up right now, Brad.
That ring is Liberty Bell, TP. The great Scott Smith laying on the floor, and Star Tech stands tall.
Well, just a few days removed from his loss to Cameron Cole, and it seems all but a distant memory now for Bartek. An impressive victory over the great Scott Smith this week on the road.
Rex Andrews, what brings you to the World's Gym Arena? You're not scheduled
need a little bit of
tonight?
star power on this show. We need special guest commentary for tonight's main event. Sean Studd says he wants a championship opportunity. Maybe I'm doing a little bit of scouting work here tonight for upcoming
What
matches.
What about the Mysterious Q?
What about the Mysterious Q? What about him? Well, every single week, no matter what my business is, people ask me about the Mysterious Q. You know, I don't deal in mysteries. I deal in reality. So let's see what Mysterious Q does tonight. Let's see what Sean Studd does tonight. Bottom line is, I'm a champion. I don't care who the challenger is.
A lot of bad blood seemingly starting to brew here between you, Rob Barnes, and Brian Keith. And now, just heard from the front office that a match has been signed between the two of you in a street fight. Your thoughts, Rob Barnes, here on, well, this hellacious match.
A street fight, Russo? What about me says street to you? I don't find the street. I find the ring. But I see what they're doing. Once again, they're stacking the odds against the foreigner. Because Brian Keith, I mean, he looks like he belongs in the street. He's probably comfortable there. And he sees this as his opportunity to take back what I took from him. Because I didn't just hurt him, Russo. Not just physically. I hurt him deep in his Texan pride. And this is his opportunity. But this is no Western movie. He's not going to collect his bounty right off into the sunset. This is reality. And in reality, in a street fight, I'm not just going to beat Brian Keith. I'm going to break him.
I mean, talk about fresh out of the frying pan into the fryer. And Tyree Taylor actually started his training in New York with WWE Hall of Famer Johnny Rods.
Oh, belly to belly suplex. Incredible strength on display here.
We know Tyree Taylor.
Oh, a body avalanche in the corner with
like
authority.
A train followed up by an enziguri.
Oh! This young man reminds me a lot of a young Bam Bam Bigelow and the way that he is able to move around that ring, cover here too, and a kick out. For his size and his strength, he is incredibly agile.
I couldn't agree more. Just a physical beat-you-up style. Also some agility like Big Van Vader in his early days. I mean, very impressive moves here by Tyree Taylor. Oh, swing and a miss. Taylor Ransom looking for that 125 spine buster.
Missed the mark. Oh! That tree trunk of a clothesline right there from Tyree Taylor. Woo. And Taylor Ransom is out cold.
Uh-oh, wait a minute. He's gonna look for that tailor-made moonsault.
Well, we've seen Tyree Taylor go for it before, and he hit it here. Big moment. Tyree Taylor just beat Taylor Ransom.
Here is your winner, Tyree Taylor.
Tyree Taylor.
Hey, reporter, how you doing, man?
Doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
How you feeling after your big win against Taylor Ransom?
Obviously, by the smile on the face, I'm doing great, man. But I did something that Mama Ransom should have done a long time ago, was to put a whooping on Mr. Ransom himself. But as far as how I'm feeling, I'm satisfied, but I'm not finished. I have a lot more toe tags and body bags to hand out to the Reality Wrestling roster. All right?
Thanks, Tyree.
You heard?
Tonight's Reality of Wrestling Rewind is brought to you by Walker Texas Lawyer at walkertexaslawyer.com.
Eat each other up and then take advantage when he can.
The smartest man to ever live.
Yes.
Is he paying you to say these things? How much is he paying you?
He's not paying me to say anything. I'm stating facts.
You're the president of the J.J. Blake fan club.
Facts. I only state facts like our president of the United States.
Oh, come on now.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
J.J. Blake takes advantage. J.J. Blake doesn't want a one-on-one confrontation with Terrell Tempo. That's the last thing he wants.
Right now, Tempo, boom! Wow. Look at the elevation on that elbow.
Drops out elbow directly to the heart. Kick out at 1.5. Hire 3 outstanding competitors in this matchup. Oh! An impressive reversal there from J.J. Blake. To retain the title, hooks both legs, kick out at 1.
J.J. turn around.
Oh, there's Terrell Tempo with a European uppercut. How about another? Look out here, look out. And Terrell Tempo is cooking right now. Wait a minute. Cameron Cole over the top to the outside. The Cole Kid just flew, and the World Gym Arena's on its feet.
I think Cameron Cole's going back to Cali. Wait a minute. Uh-oh, wait a minute. He's going to look for that pay and dividends.
It may be time. Reversal. J.J. Blake again. What a scoop slam! What a scoop slam from the challenger! Cover here! Almost got him! For his feet to hit the floor, and then Tiny showed up.
It's not my fault Terrell Tempo isn't the smartest man in the world like J.J. Blake. And you shouldn't penalize J.J. Blake for that either. He thought 3 steps ahead. He's placed 3-dimensional chess.
Cover here to retain. Slips out the back door, too. Oh, and wait a minute. Look at this now. Cameron Cole perched up top. Look at this. Cameron Cole. Oh, my goodness.
Lord.
A high cross body on that suplex.
He can't take advantage of it and cover J.J. Blake. Terrell Tempo's out. They're all seeing stars. Oh, wow.
Cameron Cole. Oh, no.
Black hammer. Oh, he's going for the black hammer. Terrell Tempo.
Oh, and a sling blade.
Sling blade. And J.J. Blake flew over, and it looked like he gave Cameron Cole a leg drop to the back of the head inadvertently.
Absolute chaos. Wait a minute here. Terrell Tempo could be pinned, and Blake would have lost the title. 2.5. Incredible. Cameron Cole now on top of J.J. Blake.
Oh, man.
So close.
Wow. 2.99% to steal a phrase from you.
Bulls, remember?
Oh. Here we go. Paying dividends. Tempo's looking for the paying dividends. Paying dividends. Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute.
Backslide here. Cameron Cole to become TV champion. Kick out at 2.
Oh, my Lord, that was close.
And a super kick.
Oh, wait a minute. He hit the referee. Tempo hit the referee. The referee cannot see. He's been temporarily blinded because Tempo backed into him. And wait a minute, Cameron Cole thinking about flying.
Cameron Cole once again.
Oh! Yeah! Yeah!
That 400-pound insurance policy gets cashed in again. You've got to be kidding me, J.J. Blake.
Blake end.
A Blake end. Not this way. Come on, not this way. 3.
Here is your winner and still television champion, J.J.
television, all of them. Because they know who I am. They know how good I am. They know that I just beat two men in one match at the same time in the triple threat. Cameraman, my man, what can I do for you? Your triple threat match obviously went well. Went very well. Fantastically well. You're still television champion.
I am still the champion of all television.
You are the television.
No. Say it with me. I am the champion.
The champion
of all
television.
I'm the champion of all the televisions in the world. That's all you got to say. You say it right from here on out. Stop calling me outside my name. I'm the champion of all the televisions.
Well, champion of all televisions. What is next for?
What's next? There's nothing next. There's nothing to do next. I done beat both of the #1 contenders at the same time. I done beat them each like 3 or 4 times. And don't get me wrong, they good. Terrell Tempo is good. He almost took me to the limit, almost. Cameron Cole is good. He's even kind of great. He almost took me to the limit, but he didn't. Now, there's nothing they can do. Nothing. And I know they want to do something. I know they're planning something because they've been pitting me in all sorts of situations like this that I don't deserve to be in. Pit me in a 2-on-1 match. That's exactly what it was. And I still came out on top. So there ain't nothing else they can do because there ain't nobody in reality wrestling that can beat me. You can beat me in the ring with any of them. I done already said this over and over and over again. They just don't get it. They just don't get it. What's next for me? I don't know. I'm going to go see the world. I'm going to take this and see the world because ain't no one going to take it off my shoulder anytime soon. What's next for me? this boy a joker, ain't he? This boy a joker. You a clown. You know, you a real clown. You know that? You know that? Ain't nothing next for me except being a champion of all television until I'm 60 years old, unless Booker T want to take it off of me himself. I didn't think so. Let's go to the next spot. Oh, wait. Dynamite, homie.
I'm Matt Topolsky, and he's Brad Gilmore for The Reality of Wrestling, and we invite all of our fans at home to check out Pro Wrestling Tees, where you can get some of the best Reality of Wrestling gear, Brad.
Hey, the official Pro merchandise available at ProWrestlingTees.com/Reality Wrestling and RealityOfWrestling.com. Get laced up, get your tees today.
La Familia. Aiden Cristiano.
What is it, man? Come on, we're busy here.
Booker T just announced that you have another match with Gino for the Reality Wrestling Championship.
What?
And
why?
There will be a contract signing in the near future for a match to be determined. Can we get some thoughts?
I knew this was going to happen. This is ridiculous and it's unfair to La Familia. I already defeated Gino. And that, to me, is putting him in the back of the line because there are plenty of guys here, plenty of stars here at the Reality Wrestling that deserve a shot at this, ahead of Gino. But of course, Booker T is going to pull a favor for him.
Siempre.
That's to be expected. You know, that's his little pet peeve, his project. Doesn't matter. Fine. Let's have a contract signing.
Yeah.
And when the match comes, whatever kind of match it is, I'm going to show him again why I am el nuevo, el campeón. And this belongs to La Familia from now on.
Sí, is
that right?
That's right.
Come on, let's get out of here. It's ridiculous.
Russo, put your phone away. You're at work, man. Listen. Look, hey. Stay calm, okay? Look, we're at work. Look, you're an interviewer. I have something I need to say to the Reality Wrestling fan base, and I feel like I owe you an apology for last week. You know, I got a little out of hand. It's just this Q thing, a man that I have no business with. This thing's been traveling with me for weeks now, right? And I just want to put this whole thing to bed. Okay, Russo, do you like movies, Russo? You do? Yeah, okay. Do you like Bloodsport? You know, Jean-Claude Van Damme, classic martial arts movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's classic. Amazing, masterful cinema for its time. But you see, things like that, we look on it with a film of nostalgia. You know, we remember it for what it was at the time, for how good it was then, but if you put it on today, it's not going to be quite as good as you remember it being. It's going to be a little bit slower, and it's not going to hold up with the product of today. So now, Q's been gone for a long time. Reality of Wrestling has moved on a lot since then. The level of competition is 100% different. Wouldn't you agree, Russo?
Yeah.
So before Q steps in the ring with a master, before he gets a Texas Championship match, I just want to make sure that he can hold up. Do you understand what I'm saying, Russo?
Tonight's episode of The Row is brought to you by Walker Texas Lawyer at walkertexaslawyer.com, Emergicare, and Hilton Furniture. Let him have it. Welcome back to the reality of wrestling. And Brad, big moment ahead. After more than 9 months of being out of action, the mysterious Q returns to the ring, and he faces the giant that put him out of action, Sean Studd.
We know Mysterious Q tore that shoulder, tore that rotator cuff, out of action for 9 months. Will there be any ring rust? Will Q be the same one that we saw over a year ago? We're going to find out. We're going to find out real quick.
Absolutely. Coming up next, it's Sean Studd versus the franchise, the Mysterious Q.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please welcome to the commentary table the reigning Texas champion, Rex Andrews.
Well, as we prepare to get this main event, this monumental main event kicked off, the reality of wrestling Texas champion, Rex Andrews, is going to join us here at the commentating table, Brad Gilmore.
And I can't be more pleased to have him, the longest reigning, the only, first and only reality wrestling Texas champion. Rex Andrews is here. Rex Andrews, welcome to the commentary desk. Great to see you.
Honor to have you, champ.
Thank you, gentlemen, for having me out here.
Absolutely. This is a big moment for everyone in the Row Nation, and you've got the best seat in the house.
Well, let me search this belt. You can see it on camera.
There you go. Introducing first, from Washington, D.C., weighing in over 300 pounds, he is the thoroughbred Sean Studd.
Sean Studd was responsible for almost ending the career of the Mysterious Q. It has been one message after another he's been trying to send. Perhaps Sean Studd will even be on your radar in the future, potentially defending that title against him.
Absolutely. I've kept my eye on Sean Studd. The guy's been on a tear lately. You got to call him the favorite in this match. The guy's looking good.
Looking real jacked, baby.
His opponent from Arsenal, making his return to the reality of wrestling, weighing in at 235 pounds, the Mysterious Q.
The moment has arrived. It has been 9 months in the making. The franchise, the F-16, the Mysterious Q is back.
And what a reaction from the reality of wrestling nation, sending chills down the spines of everyone in the world gym arena. And a Q chant breaking out. Mysterious Q, undoubtedly one of the most popular athletes we've ever had here in the reality of wrestling. And interestingly enough, the second generation giant Sean Studd, Matt Topolsky, was the reason that the Mysterious Q was out for that 9 months after he separated his shoulder.
Absolutely. After that brutal attack at the hands of Sean Studd, the Mysterious Q had a torn rotator cuff, a separated shoulder, almost ended his career. And Rex Andrews, I will turn the attention to you for just a moment, because you made a comment earlier that Sean Studd should be the favorite in this. Do you believe that the Mysterious Q has come back too early?
The Mysterious Q is untested right now. You come back from injury, you don't know where you're at. Yeah, 9 months ago, Mysterious Q was on top of the reality of wrestling, but this whole promotion's grown so much since then. We don't know where he's at.
There was no Texas championship
That's it.
when the Mysterious Q was out.
That's it. He goes away for an injury. The rest of us keep growing and we keep evolving. He just tries to get back to the status quo. He has a lot of catching up to do.
That could very well be the case. Oh, this is a huge main event. Use that hashtag RowOnCW on Twitter, on Instagram, on all social media. Join in on the conversation. The return of the Mysterious Q.
Well, we first saw Q. Oh, here we go. Reality Wrestling Nation getting behind him. Q's fired up. We first saw the Mysterious Q here several weeks ago, Rex Andrews, when you were calling out somebody. You said you wanted competition. You've beaten everybody, and the Mysterious Q appeared on the top of the stage. What was going through your mind when he was up there?
You know, I hope Mysterious Q is competition. I hope he can challenge me for this Texas Championship, but I want him to make sure he's ready first. Look, I'm a master at my craft. I know what I'm doing. I've tested myself against everyone in this nation. And Q can't come back and just expect that he's going to compete with me. He has to make sure that he can hang first.
Well, Mysterious Q might prove to do that tonight.
This will be a good test for him.
Well, it's definitely a tall test for him. No pun intended. Oh, Sean Studd.
Well, we have personally sat here at ringside and witnessed Sean Studd defeat 2 men, 3 men, and even 4 men in one night. This is a tough welcoming committee for the Mysterious Q after being laid off for 9 months, but if anyone is capable of overcoming the odds, it's Q.
Now, Rex, we saw you a couple of weeks ago defend your Texas Championship against Joseph Agao. Was the Q in the back of your mind at all during that match?
You know, I keep myself right in the moment.
Cover here from the Giant. Kick out at
Kick
one.
out after one.
Look, I'm defending this championship 3-4 times a week. If I'm looking ahead, if I'm trying to think about who might be coming down the pipeline, there's no way I can stay Texas champion the way I have. I'm staying focused on the moment.
Fair point, as Sean Studd continues to go up to the Mysterious Q, and you gotta wonder, Rex, you'd probably be the better person to answer this. Do you think Mysterious Q is, oh, here we go.
Over here, 2, and a kick out.
Perhaps suffering from a bit of ring rust?
That's it, yeah. He came out looking strong, had a lot of fire, and now he's burning out a little bit here. We gotta see if he still has that endurance to last these big time matches like this.
Yeah, conditioning is key when you're inside that 20 by 20.
You know, Sean Studd's been wrestling all over the place himself. He's looking good right now.
Sean Studd, definitely an impressive athlete coming from a pedigree, if you will.
Well, you know something.
Oh.
Look at the Mysterious Q, and we have conversations about whether or not he will be your next opponent, Rex Andrews, but Sean Studd is proving to be quite the challenger in there. Perhaps he will be the one that faces you next. I mean, there is no guarantee that Q is going to make the triumphant return here against an almost 7-foot-tall monster.
Absolutely. Either one of these guys is going to give me a great test for the Texas champion, but it's a test I'm going to overcome. At the end of the day, I know what I'm doing in the ring. This title's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Hey, Rex, I know you're...
Yeah,
oh, here we go.
Q.
Classic Q right there.
That's it, classic Q. It's the same old stuff.
Hooks that tree trunk of a leg.
Oh.
Kick out at 2.5.
You know, Q looks like he's holding on to a lot of the things he did in the past. He's relying on a lot of his old skills, and that's great, but I'm going to tell you right now, the same old Q is not going to be enough.
You know, Rex, this might not be super relevant to the match. I know you're out here doing commentary with us, going for the Q cutter. I got to ask, though, why do you have...
Sidewalk slam from Sean Studd, cover, 2!
Why do you have your wrist tape on your wrist and on your knuckles?
Hey, listen, I'm at ringside. I'm a professional. You don't know what's going to happen out here, right? Why don't you guys have your wrist tape on?
Yeah, Topolsky, where's your wrist tape?
Ready for some action.
Yeah, be ready for some action.
I don't need wrist tape. If the action breaks loose, I'll hide behind Brad.
Look at that coward.
Oh, choke slam here. Reversal, kill cover! We thought we'd never see it again! Cover 1, 2, the Mysterious Q is back!
All right, wow. Out of nowhere.
That looked good. He looked strong.
He looked very good, defeating the second generation Sean Studd with relative ease.
And I have to say, for a man who's wearing a mask, that was quite a stare into the eyes of Rex Andrews.
All right.
Mysterious Q wants that Texas championship.
I see you, Q. All right.
Mysterious Q pointing right at the Texas champion, Rex Andrews. Could this be the next contender for your title, Rex?
You know, Brad, I hope it is. I hope I can shut the Q down.
Well, there you have it.
Rex Andrews and the Mysterious Q have a long history, and it looks like there could be potentially another chapter to be written. But on this night, the Mysterious Q, after a 9-month